podcast on behalf of GUJCOST. He is the Chief of Field Office for Unicef in Gujarat. Prior to leading the office, he has headed Unicef's Jharkhand and Chhattisgarh offices. He has been working for children for over 27 years and has worked with several leading development organizations such as Save the Children, CARE, and Xavier Institute of Management, Odisha. He is a vocal advocate for the rights of children in the country for over 2 decades. Sir, I request you to proceed, please.
Thank you. Thank you for the warm welcome. And I don't know whether I am really competent to speak to all the scientists and that to child scientists. And I think who are full of ideas, full of knowledge. I think for us at UNICEF, it is a privilege that you have invited us to come and speak to the children and poor scientists, and who will contribute to the national development for the country and for different other countries in the world. And I was told that this is one of the national event where children from all across the country come together to show their scientific temper, scientific projects, and science experimentations. And I think, if I recall, when I was a student, I also was part of some of those similar interventions in my home state, which is Orissa. To start with, let me congratulate the Department of Ministry of Science and Technology, Government of India, and the Gujarat Council of Science and Technology. It's a very big thing to bring all the children, of course, virtually, and making them present the best scientific ideas in the world. And as we all know, I think what India brings to the table and what Gujarat brings to the table for in terms of science and contribution to the science is really immense. And I think it also calls for one more round of applause from both from our UNICEF side and from all of people from all over the country to appreciate and congratulate the Gujarat Council of Science and Technology. And since it's for children, I think I'm more privileged to speak for children issues and anything related to children. And I think this is in my blood now to talk about child rights. And dear child scientist, I'm not a scientist in any way. I'm just a development professional trying to do something for children in the country. And this is my 7th, 8th posting to head a state, and I'm now heading the Gujarat UNICEF office. And I'm really happy and excited to be here with all of you, the young minds, and hope I will also gather some knowledge from all of you to take my work forward. And I think I'm sure the ideas presented here will definitely make a change to the landscape of the country and other countries as well, as I said earlier. And for these young brains will definitely make a contribution to the development of the country. And I'm pleased to know that around 700 scientists are here today to make a presentation. Maybe selected few of them will make a presentation to the plenary here. And I'm also really thankful to the teachers who contributed to all those developments that has happened. I think without the teachers' guidance and contribution, the students or the children might not have reached to that stage. I think to start with, our Honorable Prime Minister, I think he has said that there are 5 C's for the 21st century: critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, curiosity, and communication. And I think the Science Congress aligns to all of them. I'm really happy to say this. And and also to thank again the Gujarat Council of Science and Technology to take this lead, bringing these children together. And this is a special thanks for, as you are bringing the children together and child scientists together. I think this, because for us, anybody who is doing good work for the children, I think we naturally have a alley that somebody is doing good work for children, and that's the reason And also to thank the Honorable Minister Jitu Bhai Bagani to lead the whole process uh, for the children for 21st century in the country and for Gujarat. And as we all know, I think children are the world's most precious resources. And there is no greater cause than championing the causes of causes, their rights, their well-being. Uh, Even if I am new to the Gujarat position, I have just joined in December 2021. I think just completed 2 months in few days in the state. But I have been observing that government of Gujarat and more especially this kind of they are more aware about the child rights. They bring the children together on many practical issues for uh, for where children issues can be discussed, decisions can be taken, and some actions can be also initiated. And as we all know, today I think we have a young countries and in the young population, and this is growing every day. In the world, there is 1.8 billion young people, and in India, we have the largest young people with 356 million young people, and in Gujarat, we have around 18 million young people. So for us, it's a great opportunity to work with them, engage with them in any forum, any ways we can uh, help them, motivate them for not only for the national building, but also for their overall development, well-being, and also for their mental health. Uh, I think we all know that how COVID has impacted all of us, and more especially the children. And it's not only the physical health that has been impacted. The big piece is the mental health, and we all, I think, take all efforts to make sure that our children don't suffer from the mental health problems. I think you will find a lot of evidence coming from both WHO and UNICEF and other bilateral agencies regarding the emphasis on mental health. It's going to be a big piece, and I would request the Gujarat Science and Technology Forum to also look at how we can support, we all partners coming together to support the children in terms of mental health and psychosocial support. Uh, and we at UNICEF, we think COVID-19 is a child rights crisis. And if you look at schools are closed, colleges are closed, Anganwadi centers are closed, and the cost of pandemic for children are immediate, and many of them are unaddressed. And we want to also congratulate the government of Gujarat. They are slowly opening the Anganwadi center, I think, will be opened. The schools are already open. They saw slowly opening up the service delivery for children, and and I think this pandemic cost is not that we can fulfill this very quickly, or we can fill the gap very quickly. That's the way we at UNICEF would look at this pandemic, and more especially for the impact on children. And it will take I think, for a decade to fulfill the learning loss that has gone. So it's a huge issue in terms of that. And as adults and as the duty bearers in the country, we cannot overlook the children and the COVID-19 response and recovery. UNICEF is calling on governments to put children at the center of national, local pandemic response and recovery plans. So we are also requesting government of Gujarat to think out of the box and look children, keeping children at the center of its recovery plan. We need to also understand that we need to invest in systems to support the children's families, like primary health care, social protection. We need to focus on reaching the most excluded and marginalized children, especially the children living in below the poverty line, children with disability, children living through crisis, and the COVID orphans, and also the children from the coastal areas of Gujarat, the tribal areas, the inaccessible pockets in any districts anywhere. From the very first weeks and months of pandemic, UNICEF has been responding to direct risk of COVID-19 posed to children and families. Uh, Through the COVAX facility, we are also helping the lead the largest vaccine procurement and supply in the operation history in the country. Uh, as you know, we are the largest agency to procure vaccine globally and supply to all the underdeveloped countries, including India. uh, UNICEF, in collaboration with partners, initiated several engagements with children and young people during the pandemic in Gujarat, and more particularly bringing the young people together. The Young Digital Volunteers Program, the Gujarat Vaccine Barta, the Children's Innovation Festival, which are instrumental in reaching more than 2 million young people within a short span of 6 months. This only shows that young people are powerful champions of change, and we should keep investing on their development. And I'm delighted to share that the UNICEF at the 75, as the government of India is celebrating the Amrit Mahotsav led by Honorable Prime Minister. UNICEF also is celebrating its 75 years. The other day, the Minister of Sports, Youth and Cultural Activities of Home Department Sri Harsh Sanghvi uh, unfolded the UNICEF at 75 coffee table book and the Duo series of and the Duo series as well. And this book it's one of its kind and a testament to the entrepreneurial spirit of Gujarat. I think this is one thing that other states should learn from Gujarat and how Gujarat has really done. I think this is if I this is said in the country. The business is embedded in the DNA of the people of Gujarat, and this is showing exactly. I think, and I am also echoing that idea that this is. And for information, many of those business ideas are with something to do with science. Some of them are, and more, all of them are problem solving. They are looking at a problem in the society and they're trying to solve those problems to find out a toilet or to do look at child labor, but they are looking at solution of the society. So I would also urge and encourage those young child scientists present today here to also look at some of those problems from the society and try to look at solutions for them. That's the only way I think we can contribute. And in the today's digital era, safety, privacy all become imperative, and especially for the young children. Online education has not only empowered them, but the technology, but also provided them with avenues of learning beyond classrooms. At the same time, it's a very difficult trend that's also being evolved in the country. They are exposed to the hazards of online bullying, harassments, which impact their mental health. So, so we need to be also cognizant of this. How much we need to, as children and as duty bearers, just like me and Mr. Sahu or Madam Poonam, how much we should also be exposed to the digital platforms. There is a risk to it. Of course, it gives a lot of knowledge, but also you have to look at the other side of it, how we can be saved from those bullyings and harassment. And UNICEF's flagship, the State of the World Children's 2021 report titled on the My Mind, Promoting, Protecting and Caring for Children's Mental Health is our most comprehensive look at the mental health of children, adolescent caregivers in 21st century. Even before COVID-19, children and young people carried the burden of mental health conditions without significant investments in addressing them. I think I want to emphasize this mental health is coming as a big piece. I think the COVID is basically become a trigger to highlight this issue, but it was there before the because of the digital expose and more especially people boys and girls from the urban and semi-urban areas. The State of the World Children's 2021 also calls on the governments and public and private sector to commit, communicate, and act to promote mental health for all children, adolescent caregivers, protect those in need of help, and care for the most vulnerable children, including urgent investment in child adolescent mental health across sectors, not just in health, but full of society approach to prevention, promotion, and care. Uh, I also want to urge all of you to look at how you can integrate your uh, interventions and scale up evidence-based interventions to look at health, education, social protection sectors, including parenting program. Parenting plays a very, very critical role in terms of this digital bullying, this care for the children during the COVID, even after the COVID, or what in any day, parenting plays a very, very critical role. And I think we as a country need to also look at the mental health piece, and we need to don't treat this as a taboo. And uh, I think we need to speak up and responsibly speak up on the mental health issues and seek medical support, medical advice wherever required. And I want to offer this opportunity to all the young scientists and whoever is present in this curriculum. If any child anywhere needs any support in terms of mental health and you want to share something, we'll be happy to help them. We'll be happy to connect to the best person possible within your state, wherever you are from. So we'll try to connect to a best of these counselors, psychiatrists, whoever is available. And we work with the NIMHANS, which is based out of Bangalore, the Institute for Mental Health. Similarly, we also work with the Central Institute of Psychiatry based out of Ranchi. So we have a network of agencies who provide those support, and they have been immensely helpful during the COVID. Even counseling doctors who are treating COVID patients, even counseling those data entry operators, these laboratory technicians, because working for round the clock, they I think some of them also lost a bit of mental balance. So those counseling services was really helpful when before joining here, I was in Jharkhand when I visited the call center for the migrant crisis that was unfolding for Jharkhand. There are more than officially there are more than 600,000 migrants who are supposed to come back to Jharkhand, and the call center people in the call center, they couldn't, because there is so much of workload and so much of pressure from all these sides, from the government side, because the government is interested to help its own citizens to bring them back and give whatever way possible to them. The other side also, the migrant themselves, with lack of food, other lack of safety, lack of medicines, and their kids are not able to sleep. They are not able to sleep. They are on the road. So they are also calling and making a lot of calls to the call centers. So when I visited them, I thought they also need a bit of counseling, because they need to be cooled down a bit before acting and reacting to anything and everything. So we intervened there as a UNICEF office, and it was really helpful. And after a few days, I think my colleagues visited the same center, and they said that they're handling cases much better. And it was they could manage to bring more than 600,000 kids. I think children, yeah, 600,000 migrant population with their kids and family members, so to Jharkhand. So my point was basically the mental health is for everybody. It's impacting everybody. So we need to really think beyond our box to support them. Similarly, I think the other big piece of new development that is happening is around the climate change. I think we all know there is a new climate pattern emerging in the country. Sometimes I think I belong to a state where cyclone occurs, I think comes every 2 years, 3 years, and usually during the month of October and November. And for last 3, 4 years, we are seeing a new pattern that cyclones are coming throughout the year. It starts sometimes in March, sometimes in April, sometimes in May, sometimes in November. And similarly, coming to Gujarat for the last 2.5 months, I could see a new pattern of cold, hot, I think mixture. So I think many people say that it's not quite natural. This is something quite different than the normal climate pattern in the country and the state. So we need to be cognizant of that fact that that is going to hit us, and it has already started impacting us and our children. So, and there are a lot of statistics around that. Approximately 1 billion of children, nearly half of the world's children, live in countries classified as extremely high risk to the impacts of climate change. We are one of those countries. Uh, and I think we should also look at how we can reduce our carbon footprint, how we can promote green energy, how we can ensure safety of our flora and fauna, and we leave a better planet for the children of the next generation. So I think I want to also emphasize that how we can remain green in our approach. I think the fuels we are using, be it the any fuel that we use for our, be it the flights we take, be it the bus or whatever we take, we largely use the petrol or diesel or whatever. They also create a lot of carbon footprint within the state. So let's look at a green economy, how you can use electric car or anything which doesn't. And I don't know how many of you use really cycles, and how many of you promote using cycles, or even the all the methods. I think we should look at when you want to reduce, create a green corridor around you. And I don't know how many of you are really love plants and plant more and more trees, live in a green village side or estate side. In closing, I want to reiterate that UNICEF is committed to its mission and purpose to ensure all children have a right to survive, thrive, and fulfill their potential to the benefit of of a better world. I once again extend my deepest thanks to the Gujarat Council of Science and Technology, especially Mr. Sahu, who is the advisor and member secretary of the Gujarat Council of Science and Technology for this program. Uh, um, uh, Dr. Burma, Akankya Burma, Dr. Poonam, and I hopefully, I think Corona will allow us to meet some of you physically and take this agenda forward. And will be happy to collaborate with the Gujarat Council of Science and Technology with these events, more especially with the uh, improving the scientific temperament in children, and also to look at how we can do partnerships beyond these events and do some concrete work for the state of Gujarat and other states. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Definitely, we will collaborate next time. And thank you for your wonderful lecture. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.